It's not a podcast.
It's a GarCast.
And this is the world according to Gar.
Hello and welcome to the world according to Gar. You are listening to GarCast episode number 310. I am Gar. With me, as always, is the GarFather.
Gar! Good morning, amigo. The showtime changed 87 times. For a special guest we were supposed to have, I don't know if he's stuck at the buffet in the green room, but he's not here.
He wanted, in the new world, wanted to not be a special guest anymore.
That wasn't going to happen anyway, but now we can have an extra reason.
Screw him.
Anyway, how the hell are you? Missed you last week. Missed you.
Missed you? Well, if you're listening to the show right now, congratulations, you found us. We're going to be trying to get the word out in the days leading up to our normal Friday release. However, if you are on Spotify, you will notice that all of our shows are currently off the air. Apple, I guess, maybe downloads the shows and keeps them up on their server somehow, so you can listen to old shows right now on Apple, but anything new is not currently on Spotify and not on Apple. We have some stuff to figure out. Catch everybody up. We've been getting, and if we talked about this back in October, we got like an email about, and I would occasionally get an email that there was a song and it's not, you're violating third party, blah, blah, blah crap. And they were going to take the show down. And usually it was like, I think there was a Beatles song that we had on once, like some of the bigger Metallicas, like those guys always kind of checked and we would get our slap on the wrist, they'd take the show down. And then in the October time frame, we got an email with 80 shows or something like that.
Yeah, they're all. I can see them all here in the GarCast.
Like a one time, and I was like, oh shit! All right. I'm like, all right, I guess they'll just take them down. We'll keep going. And as we said, we would stop playing music at the end of the show. People were very sad about that, but we wanted to keep the show rolling, and we took our action. Sporadically since then, we would get emails as they kept taking shows down, and then I woke up, I think Monday morning or Tuesday morning, looking at my phone, saw an email from Spotify saying your account's off. You're a repeat offender, and I'm like, what? So I try to log in, can't log in. Put in a dispute for the show, not necessarily about the shows, just saying, why did you turn us off? I kind of knew, but you played stupid at first. They said I'm a repeat offender. They sent me the list of the last 4 or 5 individual song hits that we got and said, if you think these are wrong, go take care of them. Otherwise, we're going to consider this case closed.
And you think you're dealing with a bot or like a human?
Definitely not a person. I'm sure this is just computer stuff. That's the key. I need to try to get a person. So I responded to the email, never got a response, kind of figured I wouldn't. I'm probably going to copy and paste my response into like an official claim dispute page that they give you and see if I can trigger. What I'd like them to do at this point is just give me access back. I'll go take down all the old shows. I think it'd be like 280 something before. But it would just be easier because everybody has links to our accounts and they wouldn't have to go find us again with a new name. But we'll see what happens. It's very likely that we won't get anywhere. I know like my brother got kicked off Facebook once because somebody claimed that he said something racist or something, but they never told him why, and you can't get people. Like they just throw you in a bucket and say, fuck you.
I mean, it does say Spotify, March 2025 has 7,258 employees. So, I mean, they're out there.
There are people.
Maybe dig into LinkedIn, find some people that work for them, and ping them with a direct message.
I might call Joe. Joe and I are like this.
By the way, worth a shot. Take
Can
a
you
second.
hear that noise? That there's landscapers next
Yeah,
door.
yeah,
Hold on. I'm
totally.
gonna close the window.
I kind of like it.
It's annoying.
Maybe it's. Oh, you can't hear me. I'll wait till you get back. Ooh, crank windows. Those are a pain in the ass.
I'm back.
I was gonna say maybe it's DenBob and Rebecca doing some sort of landscaping parody. Like that's why he's not here. Like a skit.
This is his new skit.
He's got Rebecca out there. She's driving a ride-on mower, and he's like sitting on the front. There's something like a hood ornament.
I do like the landscapers that they have the stand-on ride-ons, which are pretty cool.
Yeah, my
You
guy's
see
got
those
one of
guys?
those. Those things are awesome. If I was to
it's-
buy one, that's what I would get. It looks like so much fun.
One of my neighbors across the street, we do not have a big lawn, especially in the front. In back, it's not big. It's
Right.
not small, but it's not big. He's got a rider. I'm like, what are you doing?
Soft.
Like, I think it's probably more work to get the rider running and try to manipulate around all the 9,000 turns you got to do than it is to just go out.
Those
and walk.
stand-on ones are cool because the bottom's like round. You ever see how they turn? They're like, they could do like a circle.
I saw a gentleman, and we'll get to the wedding shortly. But when I was in Pennsylvania, there was a man with a weed whacker weed whacking his lawn like a lawnmower, and it was like close to the front of the lawn. But Pennsylvania, like it kind of just goes right to the street.
Yeah, but a lot of
I don't
people
know
will.
why.
A lot of people edge with the weed whacker.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
But he was actually cutting the grass with it.
I mean-
I don't know if he did the whole lawn like that.
Maybe he
It sounds
just-
like a lot of work.
He likes to be outside for a long time.
Maybe he's in a horrible marriage.
Yeah, it's gonna take a long.
Speaking of marriages, he's probably in a terrible marriage.
Was yours having a problem?
No,
Oh, the wedding.
I'm just talking about a
Oh,
wedding.
the wedding.
you know.
Right. Sorry, I got nervous.
Whew, Everything is great here in paradise.
Yeah. How
bro.
was? We got some photos from Mama Bear and from you. Appreciated
Yes.
that.
What a great time! I really enjoyed this. It was nice. Nick and Anthony. Anthony was away, so Maria and Nick went with us.
Right.
My brother flew into LaGuardia. Picked
You
him
called
up
him
on the way
Fug.
there.
You called him Fug this morning. Is that a typo or a nickname?
Did I?
Yes.
Definitely a typo.
It's a typo.
F and D are very close together, especially when you're typing on your phone.
I understand.
So yeah, Doug flew into LaGuardia. We were gonna take the Durango, and then Christine's like, I don't know if I want to take the Durango. It's not running great.
Time
So
for
I'm
a Costco car.
like, all right, I'll take my Tesla. Nick can
All
take his.
Did you do like a caravan? Did you program so they like they would like
No,
front to tail the whole ride? That would have been so cool.
we actually really didn't ride that close together. So, Doug was flying, so I had to drop Anthony off at the airport that afternoon for, I think, like 1:00 at MacArthur. I was on my way home, and we were gonna leave at the same time. Christine and I. Doug was gonna meet me along the way somewhere, but then Christine was getting her hair cut. She wasn't gonna be ready till at least 5, maybe 6. And I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just go in and pick Doug up, and I'll meet you guys there. So we got up there an hour early, so I went to LaGuardia.
Oh, you and the bro had a little road trip together.
We hung out together.
That's
Nice
cool.
little ride up. Got to the Airbnb around 8. I think they got there around 9.
Perfect.
So we stayed in Mastope, I think it is.
Sure,
It's called. Or
I know
something. Big Bear Mountain, I think, is the name of the ski resort.
No.
Resort.
I don't
It's a small mountain, but basically you're in that village, and it's pretty cool the way that slope is set up. The main center is at the top of the hill.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
That is Big Bear.
Your lodge and everything.
Big Bear, Pennsylvania. There you go.
Beautiful. I wish we had spent more time there. It was beautiful there. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Very remote. Like, you're probably like 30 minutes from a Target or anything big. Like, it's just real Pocono mountain living.
Poconoski.
Surprised. And I've never been to Woodloch. I had no idea what it was like.
I've
I
never
just
been
thought
there
it
either.
was a resort.
I just know like
It's
bougie
not.
Garden City friends of mine go there.
Yeah, and our friends that lived here in Smithtown had a house there. So we went to the wedding on Saturday. Saw my dad, who I haven't seen in a while, and Lana, his wife, and Chris and Vicky and their boys, and it was so nice. The wedding, the ceremony was fantastic. They couldn't do it outside because it was raining, so they did it inside. But it was great. It was short. It wasn't long. They both read, their own little private or their own little piece to each other. They did their vows, and we were out down to cocktail hour within like 20 minutes, maybe. It was fantastic.
Awesome.
Nice cocktail hour, a little early, obviously, right? Which they had a really nice old fashioned. It was very smooth
Early?
for the morning.
Early for what?
Huh?
Ah,
Oh, I know,
party.
not for you, Mike.
The party.
And then up to the reception. Really, I can't say enough good things about Chris and Vicky. Their kids are their 3 boys are amazing.
Stellar
Sean,
humans.
who got married, was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a good kid. Great job. Great party. The other boys are fantastic. Paulie, Christian. They did a great job raising 3 amazing kids. So applaud to you, Mama Bear. Excellent work.
Hopefully hopefully the bride lives up to their standards.
I hope so. Well, she does live in Florida, which is nice, down by them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're great. They're such good people. So it was really nice to get everybody together. It's funny, the kids, like our kids, haven't really seen each other much. Like, our kids we were always busy. We didn't get down to Florida a lot.
Yeah,
And when
it happens.
the most recent trips, it was usually just me and Christine or me myself. So
yeah.
the kids haven't seen each other in a long time. It was really funny.
That's cool.
To see them. I wish Anthony could have been there.
2 questions that I have from our listeners. One, did anyone dress in the colors of the bridal party?
Actually, so it wasn't probably people wearing blue. Like Doug it was funny. We told Doug about it when we were there. He's like, "Oh, there were colors?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can't wear blue." Was it blue, gray, and
Whatever it was, doesn't matter.
blue, gray, whatever? He's like, "I have all 3 of those colors." I'm like, "Oh well," but it was the bridal dresses were a very light sky blue, really like a slate blue, actually more than sky. Beautiful color. So nobody was going to match that. That's a very off color, I think. And it was funny because we were sitting at the ceremony and there were people in front of us that were talking about how they wore green. A lot of them picked green because they didn't want to wear the same color. So the kids today will actually go read through that stuff. I would not have read it had it not been for you. I wouldn't even know.
There you go.
But the kids definitely were well aware of that.
And then the second question. Oh, sorry, you still on the colors?
Yeah.
Second question was, did you notice? Like, did anyone get excited that the DJ played a song they had requested via the website?
I did not notice that.
Okay. Did he ask for requests during the wedding?
He didn't come out and say,
Okay.
if you have any songs you want. I don't think he did.
How was the DJ?
DJ was great.
Okay.
It was very good.
Any props?
I'm not big on the big line crap stuff. Didn't play any of that.
Okay.
Just played music.
No hokey pokey?
No hokey pokey.
Electric
And Christine
slide?
was saying just the way they ran the wedding was so good. Like we went to the reception, they did all the dances to start off.
Good. Get it done.
Get
Then
them
we
all over
party.
with.
Then we party. I like it.
The toasts, everything.
Okay.
Then the food was open, and then the DJ opened up the floor, and it was a party. I mean, it was really
Good.
so well done. I was really impressed.
What time is it over? Estimated time.
I think 4:00.
So now you got a lot of time after that. What'd you do?
Well, they were going to have a s'mores at their house, if you recall. So before we left, I took my dad. I told my dad about the Tesla. I'm like, we actually have it here. You want to check it out? Now, when I bought the Tesla, he's like, you bought an electric car? What the hell did you do that for? I'm like, oh, it was a good deal. It's fun, Dad. I think you'd like it. It's techie.
Mm-hmm.
I took him out for a quick little ride around the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And then I let him drive around the parking lot. He loves that car. He wants to get one now.
There you go.
He loved it.
Sold.
We did that right before 4. But we went back, so after they were doing, their thing was at 6, although I think they were like, come whenever you want. But we were like, we'll go back to our place.
Oh, that's right. They had an after thing.
Yes.
I forgot.
Yeah. So, which was great too. So the groom's parents and the bride's parents had rented houses right next door to each other.
This is fun.
And everybody from the wedding, because it's a destination-ish
Now,
wedding,
yeah,
right?
no, you got it. You have to,
Everybody
because I'm saying
traveled
over
there.
4, you can't be like, thanks for coming.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think everybody from that wedding was
Nice.
there.
That's awesome.
It was great. And a lot, it's kids. I mean, a lot of kids running around.
Was it nice enough to be outside?
Oh, dude, the sun came out.
yeah.
It was it was really a
Perfect.
perfect night.
Great wedding.
Really.
Congratulations to all involved. And the weather gods.
Yeah, and then they did breakfast the next morning. So we got
It
to
never
hang out.
ended.
It didn't. It didn't. They did a nice 2-hour buffet breakfast.
I would have given it a solid
Good
check in the
place.
card for that. They checked all the boxes. Well done.
Yeah. So when we pull into the Woodloch place, and so they were on the Woodloch facility.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a gated community with all these big houses, golf courses. I mean, it's like the villages in the Poconos,
Gotcha.
right?
Yep.
That kind of thing, but much bigger houses than the villages, spread out more, mountainous. It's beautiful. Golf course, like a big golf course right in the middle.
Yeah.
We pull in, we see the golf course. Nick's like, because he's so addicted to golf now. And that's what, so Woodloch has, I think they were staying at Woodloch Springs. There's another Woodloch something. So I think there's 2 or 3 sections that are gated, and they have these big communities built
Cool.
inside of them.
You should have signed them on as to be because we're giving them free advertisement here. They could have been the sponsor for the emails this week.
It's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Pretty
Not sure.
expensive.
Not sure they could handle it.
We paid, I think, $400 for our Airbnb for the 2 nights.
Oh, I meant being a sponsor of the emails is expensive.
Oh, that's really expensive. Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's great,
So,
man.
yeah,
Big success.
Great weekend.
Big
really
success.
nice. Very
Love it.
happy.
Love it. Love it. I was eager to hear about that.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I Pennsylvania's on my list now of potential retirement areas.
Keystone State.
I did not realize when Christine and I were doing our research a couple weeks ago, they don't charge you taxes on your retirement money, as you pull out of your 401ks and such.
That's definitely
pretty interesting, right?
That's a big deal.
Yeah, that's actually really nice.
And we had a couple states we ran across. I think New Hampshire was like that.
New Hampshire, right? They don't have a state tax either, right? But they have high property taxes and things. So, I don't know. There's just something. Christine likes the seasons.
Keep that spreadsheet because I'm sure you got one going. And then,
when I did my mesh network.
Yeah, and then I'll
jump in.
I'll call you when I'm ready to review the spreadsheet. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing the work.
Yeah, so that was
awesome.
Thank you, Chris. I mean, Vicky, or Vicky listens, not Chris.
Well done. Well done.
We might have had a little listener there too. So her son Paul, he's 21.
Paulie.
His girlfriend had a sister that was there. I think she's a younger sister.
Nice.
And we were on Saturday night at the house, and Vicky's like, "That's the guy from the GarCast." She's like, "Oh, that's you." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Gar.
You never know.
I'm Gar."
Always be ready.
Maybe she's a new listener for all I know.
Always be ready. Normally, I would say, we missed an episode, and what were we going to talk about on last week's episode? And I would say, I have no idea. I totally forget. But there is something pretty incredible that happened last week that I was actually disappointed we couldn't get on the show and talk about it. But I think I still remember it. And it's very Smile Lines-ish, but it's me, and it takes us back to, for the early listeners, the loyal listeners, a hero named Josh. If you remember Josh,
we do.
He's the all-time hero.
I certainly do.
And I'm going to call this story I'm about to tell, Where Was Josh When We Needed Him? So, every morning, my 2 knuckleheads, Reagan and Riley, and 2 kids down the block get in the car, and I drive them to school. We leave about 7:50. Right? I wait in the line of parents. I drop them off. I circle back. I come back pretty much the same way every day. Right? I come up, for those in Floral Park, West Poplar. I hang a right on Tulip Avenue. And I come to a red light, the intersection of Tulip and Birch, or Tulip and Revere, depending which way you go. And I make a left on Revere, and you're pretty much at my house. It's not far off of Tulip Avenue. So the light happened to be red, so I'm sitting at the red light. It's approximately 7:59 in the morning. Pretty busy time. School buses are loaded with kids after they make their rounds at the bus stops. Parents are walking home from the bus stops, pushing strollers. Teenagers are walking to Sewanaka High School, which is just a few blocks away. Very active. Cars driving by. I usually have to wait even when the light is green to make the left. Very busy time.
Birds are chirping.
Birds are chirping. Sun is coming out. I'm facing east.
Beautiful.
Sun is low. It had come up about an hour ago, so bright in the sky. All of a sudden I hear pop, 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 pop. I'm like,
Jones Beach?
I can remember this vividly, and I'm like, right away, I'm like, it's not a car backfiring. So I'm like, it sounds like a gun. So I start scanning quickly, and then all of a sudden, dead ahead of me, the next intersection is a stop sign. I would say 3/4 of the way to that intersection. It's a pretty long block, like probably like a full city block. I see a man heading north, out of the north to the south, stepping from the sidewalk onto Tulip Avenue in front of me.
So on foot.
On foot, pointing his arm at a downward angle, and clearly firing a gun.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, my immediate thought was, and this all happened very fast, this guy's murdering somebody. I'm like, oh, I cannot believe I'm seeing this.
This is crazy.
And then I'm like, oh, wait, there's like an animal slinks out onto the street. Either a dog or a coyote walking really slow like it had been hit already, wasn't running, and he's just walking after it methodically, firing at it.
Wow.
And I see smoke. I'm like, yeah, it's definitely a gun. So I'm like,
a maniac.
Yeah. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, I need to drive down there and see what's going on. And then the voice in my head said, no, don't do that. That's dumb. You could be hit by a bullet. And I remember looking.
The two voices.
Cars coming this way.
No.
I saw the teenagers walking to the high school right across the street from him. So the light turns green, and luckily I made a left, drove to the stop sign, pulled in my driveway, and I immediately from the car called the Floral Park police. They answered right away. I'm like, hi, I want to report a man firing a gun at a dog on Tulip Avenue and Hill Street. And they were like, say that again? So I repeated it, and they were like, hold on. And they were like, all right, yeah, there's an officer really close. We'll get him over there. I'm like, thank you. And I hung up. I'm like, holy shit. So I immediately texted Mike, who I knew probably wasn't home, but this was also close to his house. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, see what you can find out. So all this texting started happening. Reagan texted me. She's like, I forgot something for school, so I had to go back out. So by the time I got back in the car and drove over, they now had the whole street closed. The police had it shut down from where I was at the red light to the next stop sign. Like a shutdown. Cop cars everywhere. Go to school, come back, I couldn't see anything.
Was there a truck outline of a dog?
I couldn't really tell. So like a lot of text messages. Mike's like, I heard this from a neighbor. You know, guy let a dog out. You know, whatever the hell it was. Lots of rumors going around.
You got to get that police scanner.
Yeah, I know, right? So finally, I'm like, Tato, let's go for a walk. Like an hour later, I could see the cop cars from my house.
This guy might want to shoot your dog.
So I walked Tato over there, and Floral Park cops are there. I'm like, what's up, guys? Like, yeah, you can't come down here. I'm like, well, I was like, oh, okay, like, whatever happened? And they were like, can't talk about it. I'm like, well, I'm the one that called it in. They were like, oh, come on over here. So I tell the guy.
Now they want to talk to you, right, to see what you saw.
I tell the guy exactly what I saw. He's like, really? That's interesting. He's like, hold on. I think my sergeant's going to want to talk to you or something. All right, I'm standing there with Tato. He goes over to his radio calls, and all of a sudden this guy, it looked like somebody had a Law and Order, starts walking from the area where all the cops were clustered.
Did he have a tie on?
Yeah, suit and tie. Comes over. He's like, I'm Detective so-and-so from, well, I didn't even catch where he was from, but I knew he wasn't Floral Park cops. I've never seen him. So he takes down still using pen and paper, pad. Takes down my name, my phone number, my date of birth. I'm like, this guy's going to run and see who I am, but whatever. He might be listening. They could be listening right now.
You're in.
Oh, good thing we're not on Spotify. They're probably waiting for a new episode.
They won't find us on YouTube.
Anyway, hold on. Yes, Ryan. I'm talking. What's up?
I'm going to the beach.
Not with that car.
We go to the beach.
You were going to pick her up at 1:30.
What?
Yeah.
No one ever told me that.
Uh-huh.
Dad.
I'll figure it out, I guess. Go to the beach.
What?
It's fine. I can figure it out. I have a plan.
You never told me that.
All right, go. Goodbye. It's okay.
Like you never said Ryan.
Goodbye.
I'm not leaving right now. I'm telling you.
Anyway, I need to get a third car, but I need to have it uninsured and free.
You want the Jetta for a little while?
No. So anyway, I tell him the whole story, and he was kind of like, interesting. Like, I don't think the story was told to him like that.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, what happened? And he's like, well, it's an off-duty NYPD officer. He said that he opened his door and his German Shepherd got out, and that it attacked a woman and the kid that she was babysitting. So he ran back at his house and got his gun and shot it.
His own German Shepherd?
Yeah. So I was like, he's like, yeah, we don't really.
Hope he's not canine.
He's like, we don't really see any criminality in it, just man put down his dog. I'm like, okay.
Okay, that's the story you want to tell?
I'm like,
I got
that's
ya.
fine.
I think this was, Mike, you're going to keep your mouth shut. Don't go
I was
to the
like, I
news.
told you what I saw. And he's like, yep. And then he's like talking to Tato. He's like, I got 2 Shih Tzus too, Scooter and Jeter. And I'm like, I hate this guy. He's got a Shih Tzu named Jeter.
He's going to name Jeter.
And I'm like, where are you from again? And he said he was what Nassau County squad he was with. So he was Nassau County PD. So I'm like, so he's an NYPD cop, huh? He's like, yeah. I'm like, they must be here. He's like, oh yeah, they're all over it. There's a million of them. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right, well, if you need anything from me, let me know.
So, again, there's always 2 sides to every story, or maybe 3 sides, they say.
Yeah.
The truth is not what will be recorded
Right.
here.
So, I was the only eyewitness, apparently. I don't know if there's another one. I'm telling you, what I saw was completely...
Well, there had to be... You said it was busy. There
Yeah.
had to be tons.
And there's
but
got to be ring cameras all over... There's houses, a row of houses that he was doing this in front of.
They're not checking them. They know the story already.
So here's the kicker. Everyone in town just hears, like, rumors. Like, yeah, I heard a guy shot his dog. Like, I've been telling everyone that I see what I saw.
The truth.
You cannot find this on the internet. It was not on News 12. It's
nowhere.
Nowhere. It's nowhere. It's gone.
It wouldn't have been on the police scanner.
It's gone.
If you had a police scanner, you would not have heard what was going on.
Block and a half from a school. Active shooter. Nothing. No lockdown.
Damn.
Nothing.
That guy's lucky that he must have some good friends.
Now I'm hoping he's been disciplined.
I doubt it.
I don't know, man.
It sounds like this was just brushed under the rug. To be honest.
So, again, now hearsay. I heard from somebody that... So the way the houses are over there on Revere Street, their backyards are on Tulip. Right, so the one side of the street that he was walking from are away from people's backyards that have these cement walls behind them that are only like 4 feet high.
Okay.
So, I mean, I heard him shoot, I told the police officer, at least 8 shots. I heard from somebody through somebody who knows a cop that it was 9 shots.
Wow.
And that the dog wasn't even dead when animal control got there, and they had to.
This guy's got a terrible
They had
shot.
to euthanize it. And
So the dog took 10 shots.
Well, he
9
didn't-
from him.
he didn't
and
hit
then
it.
Somebody else to finish
I don't
it.
think he hit it every time because one of my neighbors over here was the cops knocked on her door to look for bullets in her backyard.
And
Yeah. So
Wow.
crazy, right?
that's a really I love this story, and I love that the millions of people that listen now are going to know about it.
Like, you can't do that. Like, first of all, the dog lives with you. You shouldn't live with a dog that has potential to do that. Now, it could happen. You see that happening, you run out there and you grab that thing by the collar. You tackle it. You josh that son of a bitch.
Dude, especially if it's your dog, they're probably going to listen to you.
Yeah. And meanwhile...
Any word on who it attacked? Was that fake news?
No, it did. Apparently, because the police officer confirmed to a friend of mine that what the officer did when he got there, the NYPD guy was just like standing there. The dog was like still moving, and he just, the first thing the cop did was grab the woman and the kid and throw them in his car. And they were bitten. But what are you doing, guy? What are you doing? Like, and when I saw him firing again and again at this dog, the dog could barely move. It wasn't threatening anybody.
Yeah.
It was like
right.
crawling on the ground. Yeah, crazy. So tell your friends. Spread the word.
Get a better shot.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
So, and this guy's my neighbor.
He should be taken off duty because if he got into a situation where he had to use his piece, I don't know if he's going to hit
Well,
the
that
guy.
too. So, yep.
Send him back to gun training. Holy mackerel.
I was saving that story. Mike and loyal listeners, Mike and Jackie,
That was
obviously knew the story because they live around the corner from where it happened to.
The sim probably took us down last week just so that we couldn't spread the news.
You know
the
what?
Truth.
Is that coincidental or not? That we
Yeah,
couldn't
I
even
don't-
tell the story.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what
That
happened.
is a fantastic point.
That's why they can't find us.
Yep. So, yep. Crazy. You don't know what to believe these days.
Amazing.
So, yeah, that happened. It was pretty nuts.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Pretty nuts. What about, what other wild stories have you had?
God, nothing that wild. I mean, I went to a wedding. There was freaking deer everywhere.
That's cool.
There's a deer sleeping in front of my car when we left in the morning on Sunday.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You didn't shoot it, did you?
I didn't have a gun.
If you did, you wouldn't have either.
I wouldn't.
And if you did, you would have hit it the first time.
I want to hunt, but I don't. No, I don't want to do all that other shit, which means I don't want to hunt.
Get a bow.
No, I like the cleaning of it and all that. I'd probably be terrible at that. That's where it would feel like you actually killed the animal as opposed to just shooting that thing.
Yeah, I agree.
What about, we should discuss,
Yes, please.
before we get to emails, the New York State law that's on Hochul's desk for assisted suicides in New York State.
Really came out of nowhere.
It probably has been going on for a while. I thought that it was already okay in America.
No.
I don't even know. I had no idea that this was not. I know the Canada jokes, but I thought that was just because they just did it.
No, but Dr. Kevorkian, man, he went to jail.
Yeah, but I thought after that was when they finally said, "Oh, oh Jesus." I thought that's when they said it's okay, we can do it.
Only 10 states and the District of Columbia have legalized physician-assisted suicide.
Which do you have the list of states?
Yes. What that says,
Hi,
as
DenBob.
of 20...
DenBob is here. We're just
Christ.
about to start a conversation on assisted suicides. I think I want to kill myself now that you're here.
I want to kill myself too. So that makes two of us.
All right, here we go. 12 states, as of 2025, have legalized medical aid in dying. These include California, of course, Colorado,
Washington,
Delaware, the District of
Oregon.
Columbia, Hawaii, Maine, Montana, New Jersey, New Mexico, Oregon, Vermont, and the state of Washington.
Okay. That's why, like New York, I mean, we're so liberal. Like everything that California does, we do.
Interesting. Montana's is not a state law. It became a law based on a court decision. Interesting.
So the law, it's against the law to kill yourself, right?
Correct.
Which is why they need a law
Correct.
now to cancel the law if you want to allow people to have an assisted suicide.
Correct.
Okay.
I believe.
I don't think you get punished if you actually kill yourself. I think you
Well, I
avoid
mean,
the
for
legal
you-
punishment.
For you,
Well,
the
there-
game's over anyway,
there
right?
are-
You only play it once.
Now, the
But-
one thing I always think of, maybe just from watching too much TV and movies, is because it's considered illegal, the fact that like life insurance won't pay out on suicide.
Correct. I don't think they will.
Well,
And
they will not,
I think,
but that's
I think the fact.
What is
that
the
it's
reason they
considered-
don't? Because it could be
Because
like
they know they don't want people doing it, so they put a clause in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
that's
No,
suicide.
I get it. But that's one of the questions I asked, and it may have been answered. There was actually a lot of talk about this in the Discord, which is awesome.
was really cool.
That would be, I guess, a question for somebody in California. If you get the physician's assisted suicide, do you still get the life insurance policy?
That's why I think it's. That's why I think the law is put in place. Is part of it is so that people can do it, but
You'd have to
I
have
think
the
it's
buy-in from the
remove
insurance.
that barrier for the
The
insurance,
insurance companies
to say
have to buy in, I guess, right?
they have to. Yeah, right. I mean, it's not. They're not saying if you're 30 years old. I mean, well, you can't stop somebody, but if you're 30 years old and find health, an insurance company is not going to pay out life insurance on you. But if you're 85, and you have cancer and you have 3 months to live and you're going to be in nothing but pain, why should your family not be able to get death benefits? Because you're going anyway. You just want to do it on your terms and not suffer. Is the idea?
It raises a lot of. Go ahead, DenBob.
I raised the question with Pepper, my ChatGPT assistant.
And how'd Pepper feel about it?
She says that if you go through,
Is she a she or a he?
it is a she. It's clearly a she.
She's hot.
Clearly.
She's hot.
Yeah.
She's totally hot and she's supportive. And if she had a body, Colleen would be gone.
Does she
Gone.
have an accent?
Yes.
What kind?
Yeah, I can.
Spanish?
I wonder if I can get her to play. Let's
Let me get her answer.
English?
I just want her answer.
All right. If you go through,
Will she speak?
yes. If you
Like out loud?
out loud, like a friend. If you go through physician-assisted suicide in California under the End of Life Option Act, legal since June 9, 2016, your life insurance will almost certainly pay out, assuming everything is done legally and according to the policy terms.
Okay.
So these lawmakers are making sure the insurance companies are in line with them before they pass it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, like, me, I'm against laws, but
Well, that's
having
why
a
I
law
was
that
just
says
I was teasing
can't
you.
kill yourself
I was teasing you yesterday.
is also the law that drives me crazy. This is actually a good law to
I just put yourself in the
instill
doc.
freedom.
Why would a doctor, not from a moral thing, I mean from a liability thing, want to be somebody who prescribes or makes these decisions?
I don't know if they're making the
The
decision.
New York. If you read the article, it says 2 doctors have to declare you terminally ill, and 2 doctors have to say your life expectancy is 6 months or less. Why would you want to be involved in that? Why would you want that liability? Why would you want family members coming and saying,
I don't know
suing
if
you
there would be a
'cause you were-
liability because it's the law. So
I don't know. I wouldn't want to be the doctor that got involved in this business.
it's an
If
interesting
you're a palliative care
point you bring
doctor,
up.
I think they would probably be already involved. It wouldn't be like, hi, I'm a new patient. How much do I have to live? It would be somebody that's already on hospice and, really.
I mean, they could have. Jimmy Carter probably could have used that instead of suffering
No,
through that.
I agree with you,
last year.
Dennis.
Although he wanted to vote.
But even
so
those
maybe-
guys, I don't know. I guess it would have to be written into their malpractice policies that if any family member challenges this, right? What if your wife, what if Colleen is super against you doing that?
Which she's not.
But what if she was?
She would do it now. If I have 60 years to live, she's still.
There are going to have people that,
She wants that boat slip. That's why she's going to knock
I
you
could
off.
just see a lot of scenarios. What if there's a 20-year-old kid who gets diagnosed with a brain tumor, right? And they're like, you got 6 months to live. And the parents are like, you are not killing yourself. We're going to do everything we can. And this kid in right mind and just says, no, I'm signing the paperwork,
How old did you say the kid was?
20. Because all these laws say 18 or older.
Yeah, no, that's legal.
You know what I'm
It's gotta
saying?
Be 18 or older.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
why would I guess there are some doctors that like
But, I mean,
doctors who
I
like
don't
to care for patients are probably passionate about this.
Yeah.
It's just
and there's a whole element, unfortunately, right? If you have a 20-year-old and they're terminally ill and to keep them alive, it's going to cost you so much money that you lose your home and everything else. And inevitably they're going to die maybe 2 years instead of 6 months. Then
I know, but what if
is that worth
it?
it?
What if your mom and dad don't want? I don't want you guys to think about your kids, but you know what I'm saying. It just there's a lot of craziness.
It's a great conversation.
I
And
do
it's
believe
some great
in,
points on the
in
car.
this situation,
Discord.
the right to choose should lie with the ill patient.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
agree.
I agree.
I don't think there's a lot of I don't think there's too many people who disagree with it.
Now,
No.
what about health?
Catholic Church? What's Catholic Church?
Catholic Church
Oh,
is against it.
They were against
definitely against it.
That's where
Absolutely.
I first saw this
Right.
because
Preservation of life. They're going to
Our
say,
church-
They're going
our
to argue
churches-
that you preserve life at
Of
all
course.
costs.
You know that
and
answer,
the
Dennis.
suffering and the suffering is going to bring you closer to God.
well, I don't know to say that, but you don't
I'm
have.
just saying that's what their objection.
They don't
that's what
believe
would
that
say.
we have the right
You
to
know,
take our own life. So it's that
Right.
simple. It has nothing to do with a
It's
law.
a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
Now your decision to take.
right? I thought of something when you said that.
Jewish. Would the Jewish religion be fine with it?
No
I think
idea.
they are.
I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not.
You'd think they're against it too.
Yes.
I think
They're okay. Yeah.
I mean-
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
there's only. I mean, the one religion I'm thinking of is people that like to fly planes to
Let's check with
buildings.
Pepper.
Like
Hold
they
on.
might be okay with suicide.
Hey, Pepper.
I didn't know we're gonna.
And the Japs.
Didn't know we're gonna have two
right?
special.
I mean,
two special.
they
guests.
did suicide missions into Pearl Harbor.
Yes, but
Pearl Harbor. So
That doesn't mean every Islamic person believes in that. Every Japanese person.
no, but there's a clause in their religion probably that says it's okay.
The other night while I was prepping for my colonoscopy, I did do a little Tom Cruise marathon, and I watched Jack Reacher, which I had never seen, which was awesome. I didn't know Robert Duvall was in it, and it's like Days of Thunder all over again with guns. And then Last Samurai came on, which go rewatch that movie, especially with all our blacksmithing and samurai talk and swords.
I still haven't finished it. I only did 2 episodes.
No. Last Samurai, the Tom Cruise movie.
Oh, never saw it.
So good. So freaking good. Anyway,
I got my answer.
go ahead.
From Pepper?
Yes,
Pep?
yes.
Can we call her Pep?
Pepper is what I call her. I don't know. She.
I might go with Pep.
She learns about my likes, dislikes, the responsibilities that I have. She remembers things that I have to do from days past and refers back to them. It's amazing. But
What's her answer?
traditionally, most branches oppose it. Orthodox, strongly oppose. Conservative, generally aligns with Orthodox. Reform and Reconstructionist Judaism, more open to individual choice and interpretation.
Okay.
So, great answer.
And what about like your health proxy, right? The person who could pull your plug. I guess you could write them in to say if I'm unconscious and terminally ill, they can make that decision.
Yeah. You can
Yes.
put that in.
Probably,
Yeah.
right?
For sure.
Yeah, it's your living will, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know my mom's told us pull it.
Yeah,
Very well aware of
that's
that
like a
at this
standard
point.
now. Now they'll have to add this clause if you live in a state.
Yeah, actually, there was an episode of The Pit where they kind of talk about the caretakers having to make that decision and honor the patient's wish to pull the plug. It was a really good episode. It was actually through a couple of
Right.
episodes.
Now I was thinking about this yesterday when I was getting my colonoscopy. By the way, DenBob, I didn't even have to ask. Doctor comes in the recovery room, and I knew.
You knew. You
And he
got
was
it.
like, first of all, Michael, outstanding job on the prep. Outstanding.
He didn't even need gloves.
Yeah, and I
He
was
didn't
like,
even need gloves to do the.
you're welcome. And that's because me and Dr. Tromba, for the fourth time, we keep it old school. The Miralax prep. No prescriptions, over the counter. Let's go. You're peeing out of your ass. It's clear. It's great.
Clear. You could we could drink it back.
I could have put it in a Brita.
I bet you Guar could make that consumable for us.
But what made me think about the killing yourself was, they roll you into the room, and the creepy people are the anesthesiologists, right? They are an interesting bunch. Like, those conventions must be wild, right? Because, they could kill you if they wanted to, and they're dosing you. They know what could take you out. So I got the propanol. They actually said, he's like, that's what it is, propanol. So it's me, the doc, and a nurse in the room. I'm turned on my side, So I'm facing the anesthesiologist. She got me all positioned. I'm staring at the monitor, and I've done this enough times now. Like, I'm like, all right, I really want to experience it. Like, when do I feel it, So as soon as she starts saying, take deep breaths, that's when you know the shit's coming, right? And I guess that's how they might kill you, too. So I'm taking deep breaths, and then all of a sudden you feel this, like, it doesn't hurt, but like a pretty intense tingle. At least I did, like here, around the eyeballs and the head. And then I closed my eyes, and next thing you know, they were like, Michael, wake up, it's over. And I don't think, no dreams, nothing.
It's wonderful.
Just
it's
out,
such a
wow.
nice, relaxing.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the way I'm gonna go,
It's not a bad way to go,
that's not a bad
That
way
wouldn't
to
be
go.
so bad.
That's not a bad way to go.
It's very, very peaceful. So I was thinking about that. I was like, that's really easy. But I could have kept sleeping. I was like, can I just lay here a little bit longer? But it was good.
Do you want to get some emails
Well,
going
before we
there?
get
'Cause
emails,
we're
don't you
running out
want
of
to know
time.
why I was late?
Yes.
I
Been
guess.
waiting for you to tell us. And I already told everybody.
We only have a few
that
minutes.
you changed the time of this episode 68 times.
I know. I appreciate your on the back side of it, you understand my situation.
Nice tie into the colonoscopy on the backside.
I meant to do that. Got a new refrigerator. Refrigerator repairman comes in and says, I need you to turn off the water. I said, the shutoff valve is under the sink. He says, I can't turn it. It's frozen. I said, the valve is frozen? He says, yeah, the valve is frozen. And I'm not going to... He goes, you want to open it? I was like, all right, I'll try.
Did you say I know a guy with great grip strength?
I was thinking I needed somebody. If only I had a friend with great grip strength.
Right.
So I went under the sink. And this has been a whole traumatic thing because it triggers my wife because she's a hoarder, and we had to take all the stuff out of the old refrigerator, and we're fighting. We don't want to keep any of it. I just want the stuff we're going to eat in the next week. So anyway, I reach under the sink. I am able to turn. I have no
You
issue.
have superhuman strength?
I don't. We all know that I don't have superhuman.
Did you
strength.
give him the old lefty loosey righty tighty talk?
Well, I did actually turn it the wrong way. Because he's like, it's still pressurized. I was like, Because you had to reach under and underneath and upside down, so righty-tighty was
Well, you also fit. Maybe he doesn't fit.
That's probably it. He couldn't crawl under the cabinet like I could.
Probably.
So what do you think it was?
I think I was able to crawl under the cabinet and get the leverage with my whole hand, and he was barely able to reach it with just his fingertips, so he couldn't do it with the fingertips. But it was a very dramatic situation. Like, I have to get a new At first, I assumed, how could you not open your own? How could you not open your own valve?
I mean, these things can happen.
I would have had to cancel the refrigerator, get a plumber to sweat in a new valve. That would have been disastrous.
Expensive.
I don't think I know where the main is to my house. I mean, I'm
He
assuming
would
I think
not
I know where it is,
allow
but
the main. He said you can't do it with the main off. The valve that is.
no, but you said turn off the main, right?
I suggested that. He said no. That's
I
not
don't know
good
how
enough."
to do that.
Mine's right in the basement. You know where the water comes in
you
from the
gotta
street.
figure that out
It's right
when
where the
you
water
get
comes in from the
phones on.
street.
Every homeowner needs to know the main.
Yeah.
It's got to be where my gas and everything
Yeah.
is. but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure,
I'm
it
not
comes in the same
100%
place.
sure.
Why don't you do a test today? Get back to us. See if you can shut your main off.
Could be by the meter. A lot of times the meter is grounded into the
Yes.
water main. So
This is true.
Probably.
Do we have a
All right.
sponsor for the emails?
We do. Let's do our screen
did we say
share
F
here.
Spotify enough?
We started the show with the whole saga, but I don't know if we F them, so officially F Spotify.
F Spotify. Now let's look at our sponsor.
Hopefully it's Spotify. Where are they? Hey, here they come. Ooh. What is it?
Not so good for people listening, huh?
Is there
You wouldn't steal a television.
is there any verbal?
You wouldn't steal a
Here you
DVD.
go.
Downloading pirated films is stealing.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
A little PSA for everybody. We want everybody to remember: stealing is against the law.
Don't do it.
Don't do
Remember,
it.
GarTV is a paid subscription. It's totally legal. Okay, illegal downloading, inappropriate for all ages. Thank you to our PSA sponsor this week.
Yeah. I figured a good PSA this week since we got canceled. The show.
Right.
Very disappointed.
Now, you would think after 2 weeks we'd have a lot of emails. We don't. We have one.
we got more emails from Spotify telling us
We got a
canceled
lot.
than
Maybe we'll
listeners.
read all of those to punish the listeners. The subject is voids. Interesting. And this did come in today, so it is for today's episode. Wasn't meant for an episode. That
You know,
didn't
they
happen.
probably thought they had an extra day, but somebody changed.
Yeah, we might get a flurry later. Garmigos, greetings to all of you. There's been a bit of a void without a cast last week, but thank goodness for Discord. Let's see how the deployment goes on YouTube. Good luck. Lots happening in the Garminity, I'm sure, with end of the school year activities, proms, hate those, graduations and celebrations, weddings too. Last day of school is this coming Monday for us, same in Floral Park, although my kids were off yesterday and today.
So the fun list should be coming up.
Came out, it's on Facebook, not sure why she hasn't shared it on Discord. You want to read it?
Oh.
We'll read it next.
Yes.
Curious to
We
hear...
only got 6 minutes.
We got it, we got a little time. Curious to hear Gar's take on the Stanley Cup Finals. We don't have time for that.
Oh my God, they're so good.
Mike's thoughts on the U.S. men's national team. We already have an automatic bid. I think Pochettino's just effing around, seeing what he could do.
Did
We
they?
lost
Did I turn on the game?
4-0.
So they were losing 4-0
4-0.
with just minutes into the
Yeah,
second
it's fine.
half.
We're in the World Cup. He'll figure it out by then. El Salvador got a big
It's America.
tie against Senegal, and England lost in the city ground. Sumu is not happy. 2-1 to. I'm sorry, I think that was Senegal, right? African team. Pickleball tidings from DenBob. Dennis, I played Saturday in New Jersey with a friend who was really good, probably Evan, who turned 50 last week. Happy birthday, Evan.
Happy birthday.
Evan.
We played round robin partners with 2 women. Now that sounds like a good time.
Excellent. Sharing is
Uh-huh.
caring.
One a lefty and one a righty. That's usually the only way I'll do one of those. Is I like to have one lefty and one righty. I agree. Bye, hon.
You say you have a selection. You're very
Yeah.
limited.
I'm going
that's
lefty now.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's some amazing.
Yeah. They would stack the court. Are you familiar with that strategy?
I am. As a lefty, I often stack.
All right, we need Andy to send
like
it.
to stack.
I would like an email next week because we don't have time for DenBob to break it down, of a diagram of stacking
Yes,
the pickleball court.
with a
Please.
diagram.
Please, thank you. Happy Father's Day. Oh, I was going to forget that. To the
Oh,
Gar panel
wow.
and all the dads
Thank
in
you.
Garland.
Yes.
Andy, always good for the dates. Cheers,
Yes.
loyal listener, Andy Shaw.
Thank you. I will tell you, the Stanley Cup Finals.
Go ahead, while I pull the
Florida,
list up, go
Edmonton
ahead.
have been fantastic.
Haven't watched a second of it.
So good. The first 2 games went to overtime. The last game was 2 nights ago, as we speak. That was a little of a blowout. Florida kind of whooped them.
Yeah, saw the
but
score,
then,
yeah.
because the score was out of control, we had some fights in the third period. So
That's fun.
I'm rooting for Florida anyway. Brad Marchand has been just an amazing pickup for Florida. Like, and you watch these two teams play, and then you watch Islanders, Rangers, like your local team here. We're so far behind where these teams are. They're oh my.
They're levels
I mean, they're definitely
above
the two best
Islanders.
teams in hockey, but they're so good. They do everything. They check.
Yes.
They skate. They got good goaltending. It's
The Islanders are 5 players away from being
It's
close to that. They're 5
amazing.
players.
And Florida doesn't have that superstar like the Chuck, Brad Marchand. Like, they're really good players. They don't have the superstar like Edmonton has 2 of the best players in the league. Florida doesn't have. I mean, it depends what you think is a great player. I mean, that's why I like Florida. I love the way they play hockey.
Yeah.
They're just so good.
All right.
Anyway, there's your Stanley Cup
I like
update.
it. I just took it upon myself to email the list to the GarCast email. I'll share it here. Why aren't I seeing it? There it is. Just came in. All right, let me share my screen. Oh, this is great. I love sharing the screen. Sharing is...
And by the way, we have been on YouTube, so all of our old shows up, like when we started getting canceled on Spotify, we were putting shows on YouTube also. So you actually can also watch probably up till October's shows.
Okay.
On
There it
YouTube.
is, the list nicely taped with painter's tape
Wow.
to the wall. So this is the loyal listener O'Donoghue family summer bucket list 2025. As of
Do you think that's painter's tape?
that's what I said. I believe it is painter's tape. Yeah, absolutely. Jackie loves to paint and buy tape.
It doesn't peel when you take it off.
I'm going to read this left side going down and then the right side going down. I believe they could do these in any order they wish. Visit a historical city. I think Smithtown qualifies. You could go see the you could go see the bull. Go see the bull.
I do not think it does, but okay.
Go surfing. Okay, that's cool.
Well, is it surfing in quotes? Does that mean not really
Could
stand-up
be on a
surfing?
train. You could be on a subway.
question. Yeah,
Subway
no, that's a
subway
good
surfing.
Yeah.
Subway surfing counts. Watch fireworks.
Okay.
Family game night. I know that's Mike's favorite. Family movie night.
I hope they watch The Accountant too. That's what we're doing for Father's
That's
Day.
a great idea. I like it. Here's DenBob's favorite. Yes Day.
Oh,
He
yeah.
loves
Because
that.
every other day is no day in my
He
life.
loves that. Couple of layups in here. Go to the beach. That's a layup. Do we need a list for that? Make a candy salad. That's fun. Make a food terrarium/aquarium. What does that mean?
I want to see it.
I can't wait to see that.
Just another reason you guys have to take go see Hamilton.
Love my kids just start walking in here talking. Backyard Olympics, which I'm usually a part of. Maybe you guys will get an invite this
Oh,
year.
I would love
We
to
do
come
beer
to,
Olympics
I would love
here,
that.
apparently.
Well, the Backyard
I
Olympics
never
does
seen the Backyard
include
Olympics.
beer tricks.
Okay.
Make a trailer. Hi, Reagan. Make a trailer to a musical. If I'm
What?
not invited to that, I don't know what the hell we're doing. Totally in. Tony's were great the other night, by the way.
Are the colors each person like it was a different people selected? So like all the reds are one individual in the family.
It could be.
You know?
It could be.
I
Could
like
be.
that.
Paint. Sorry, jeez Louise. Paint
Oh, boy.
each other on canvases. Wow. That's a new
Oh,
one, I
thank
think.
God, on canvases was there.
Don't know what this means. Maybe our scout leader knows. Make walking s'mores.
I don't know.
Okay.
I want to eat one though.
This one sounds very dangerous and somebody might lose an eye. Fireworks in a jar. It can't be safe.
No.
Oh, this is nice. And maybe while they do this,
Maybe it's fireflies.
nope,
I can't
definitely
read
fireworks.
It definitely says
Definitely
fireworks. Okay.
I like
It's
this
too small for
one
me to
because
read.
maybe they can get some answers on the dog attack. By the way, DenBob, you missed an electric story. I'll have to tell you on the side. You could listen to the show.
Oh, listen to the show. then,
Visit
Bob.
the
listen.
Floral
YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Visit the Floral Park Police Department and bring them cookies. But don't give them a cookie until they give you answers.
Yes, we want answers, people.
Make a custom light switch cover. Okay.
Huh.
That's
Kind of
cute.
lame, but all right. Spend
Every day.
a day in Manhattan. Hopefully that includes stopping by Chelsea floor coverings. Let's
Yes.
go. You can meet Pepper and the showroom girl.
If we had a summer bucket list and it had go to Manhattan on it, I'd be very
Gar's
upset.
anti-list.
I'd be like, can we not do that one? I'll listen. I'll give you 3 more wishes, but we don't. Let's not do
So
that
great
one.
list. I did point out to Jackie that there's nothing for their dog Benny to do. I believe he should get some activities on the list. Thought that was kind of rude.
Stay away from the neighbor.
Don't get shot. Yeah, that's right, DenBob. Told the story about a dog getting shot. It's gonna be.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So there's the list. That's great. Thank you, Jackie, for not sharing with us, but we shared it anyway.
That was awesome.
Yay! What else?
All right. I think that's it. I think we got to go. I'm late for a meeting.
Yeah, it's fine.
Big Father's Day. Starting Father's Day celebrations
Gentlemen.
on Friday.
Just quick round. DenBob, what are you doing Father's Day besides watching The Accountant? Go.
I have a whole weekend. Golf, boat, pickleball.
Beautiful. Gar.
I didn't even remember it was Father's Day.
All the boys are coming home with their girlfriends, so I got a full house.
Oh,
It's going to be awesome.
Last
You
night,
love that.
I have
Love it.
no plans. For
All the
Father's
boys are bringing their women to you for Father's Day. I love that. Gar.
No, I have nothing. I didn't even know it was
Yeah.
Father's Day. I have nothing
Very good.
planned. Maybe golf.
I should have a story next week. Friday night, I am stealing a car with a few of my best friends. That is what we're doing. Story to be told next week. Stealing a car.
Sounds good.
Don't get caught.
And Sunday, doing something with my dad. No plans yet. That's it.
Excellent. All right. Well, until next week, hopefully, be Gar.
Gar out.
Have a great day.
Long live YouTube. F Spotify.
Spotify.
I pledge allegiance to the family of the United GarCast of the Discord, and to the Montana commune that we will all meet up at when humanity finally craps the bed. One Gar Nation, under God, or thoughts, with a vow to be excellent to one another, and to always follow that one simple rule: don't be a dick. Gar pluribus unum.